Montgomery College students continues in Frederick County.
And I got to play with your wand. It was great.
Definitely fun.
Keep going.
Been there, buddy.
Okay. Well, welcome to Finish Foreplay, Kyle and John.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear about who you guys are, because Kyle, you look like John's son. You look so young. Why you look so? How old are you?
I'm 31.
Oh, okay.
I look that old? Really?
No, because he looked like a baby. He like you dropped your son off at softball practice, John. Like, what is this?
Hey, what do you look like? Turn your damn camera
I look a
on.
mess,
What are we doing?
girl. I got back from the barbershop, girl. I got a bad haircut. So we here.
Oh,
We excited.
oh, shit.
We gonna get into it. They fucked my shit up, girl. Look at this. So we here with the filmmakers of Bad Haircut that was just streamed at the Fantastical Fest. And tell us
quiet
about
right there.
yourselves. Tell us about yourselves.
Yeah, so my name's Kyle Misak. I'm the writer-director of Bad Haircut. And we're really excited about this movie and just excited to share it with the world. And I'm just a writer-director. So
Is this your first movie, Kyle?
No, this is actually my fourth movie, and fourth feature, and then a bunch of short films I've done as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you had done other features before. I thought you'd just done shorts. That's rad. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Jon Petro. I'm a producer on Bad Haircut. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, where'd you guys get your start in like the whole filmmaking and all that good stuff?
I started in high school. I kind of got into it. Started off thinking I wanted to be an editor, kind of fell into that, and then quickly realized I wanted to direct. So, my junior year of high school, I started kind of writing little short films, and then I started making those. And then when I was 19, I did my first feature, which was a really terrible movie, but I learned a lot from it, and then kept pursuing it, doing short films. And then I did another feature 2 years later, more short films, another feature 2 years after that. And then, more short films, and then eventually to this movie. So that's kind of my story in a very, very short, condensed nutshell.
Yeah. I started, I got into filmmaking real early. I wanted to be Spielberg when I was like 8 or 9. My cousin, Reed, he's a DP now. He was a DP on Bad Haircut, Reed Petro. So we grew up making shorts and just films together in general. And then I also directed my first feature when I was 19, which I don't want really anyone to see probably either. And then just
were these horror films? Were these horror like shorts and films, or were they just genre?
No, I've never done horror before. And honestly, I consider Bad Haircut to be more of a thriller comedy than horror personally.
That's a comedy movie. We're going to get into it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Okay.
We're happy to be here with the horror community. We're still a fantastic fest. It ended last night, and we're in our hotel in Austin, Texas still. So we're leaving tomorrow. But we've been it feels like we've been embraced, at least at this festival, and we're grateful for it. We've met a lot of horror fans, I can say that. And it's been awesome down here, man. It's awesome. We've had a great time.
You guys make it out to any comedy stuff while you're out there? You guys clearly are comedy fans. You like live comedy?
We did, actually.
Yeah, we did.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Hell yeah. Okay. I was wondering if you'd put your name in the bucket or not if you got on Kill Tony, I'll have to see in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we went to the Mothership, and it was just whatever comedians were there, and there's a handful of really good comics. That was fun. But we've been, we're both so tired. Like, it's been 9 or 10 days of you just don't get a lot of sleep. Like with the first 5 days of the movie, it's just constant in a good way. But this constant press, and then the movie premiered, and then we played again 3 or 4 days later. And then we had our press one at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then you just want to stay busy with networking and doing interviews all the time, just so we can.
This got to be fun too, right? Y'all have fun doing all this?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's just nonstop, like John was saying. Go. You're from one meeting to the next screening to the whatever. It's party, whatever. It's just constant go. So we're ready to be home, but it's been so cool.
Yeah.
And then now
Oh,
you're
nice.
here with Terrell in that wig.
I know. Y'all probably think I'm crazy. Let's just start with that. So y'all like comedy. I'm a hot mess. I'm not. But anyways, can you guys do comedy? Like y'all have like a minute of stand up y'all could do real quick?
I have
There's no way you're about to make these men do a minute of stand up.
Where I was going, because Evan, he wants to be a comedian. He has all these great jokes. So
I don't
hear
want to be a
joke.
comedian though.
Yeah, so they want Evan do a
Terrell
joke for
thinks
them.
I want to be a comedian. I'm
No,
making
you said
films
it.
too. Oh, I said I would try out for I would try to go on Kill Tony if I ever went to Austin for something, but I'm
So
not
Evan's
like
got
trying
jokes.
to be a
He
career
got jokes,
comedian.
you guys.
You got jokes. Let's hear a joke.
That's your jokes.
I feel
Damn,
like putting
dude.
somebody on the spot for a joke is the worst thing, dude.
Just lean into it.
I mean,
Yeah. Yes,
I can really just tell you the story of my life. That's a pretty big
Oh,
joke.
God. All right.
Oh, you made him laugh. There you go. Yes.
Well, all right. So you got a comedic set. That was good. I like that.
That was good.
Now tell him actually a little bit of your life and get him to cry.
Well, you
Oh,
know, the
don't do
craziest
that.
thing is that, Kyle was just talking about he's 4 features deep, and I was reading online, you made your first feature, which I thought was this, but your first feature was when you were 19, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
when
fuck
I was
you.
19, for full context, dude, that's when I had just started doing meth. So
Oh, there we go.
Oh, why you do?
we definitely, our paths are different, but I'm glad they crossed,
Yeah.
and we're here together.
Hey, Evan, you've come a long way, dude. Never say never. You're looking good.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I like to think I've come a long way, too, but sometimes Russell and Terrell like to remind me that I haven't come as far as I think,
It's a matter of perspective.
You got to keep your friends in check, though. I think they do a good job of that.
Yeah.
I'd argue, but I think you're right. So, Kyle and John. Now, when we were waiting for y'all before, I had teased them with this grand theory. Evan and Terrell have heard it before. They're tired of it. But I think your film is coming out at the correct time. Do you have distribution?
Not yet. We're in talks right now with a few different people, but we haven't signed anything yet.
Okay. Anybody listening, it should play in a theater. So whatever Eli Roth deal we got to make sure that happens.
Yes,
Yeah.
seriously. It needs to be in a
Agreed.
theater.
Here's the thing.
Agreed.
I know that when the middle market fell out of like studio productions and there was everything was either indie or blockbuster, the horror community kind of responded with horror movies always make money, so they're going to keep making these movies, and we
Right.
kind of moved into like this 2-decade epic of everybody's at home, like everything's in an apartment, and there aren't a bunch of camera setups, and it's just like it's fine. I like a lot of those movies, but it like everything else, it's so homogenized now. I feel like everything feels like everything. It's like it's a perfect era for AI to come in because it's not hard to predict what the fuck a movie's going to look like. But now you guys have Bad Haircut, and the movies that are coming out are, and I mean this in a good way, they're movies that nobody was particularly asking for and that are done with a much bigger production than one would expect. And yours actually fits in with a bunch of remakes. So somebody, Street Trash, that was recently remade, but the scope was much bigger. And it was kind of like a softer landing. It wasn't like so hard-hitting inner city New York kind of turmoil.
Yeah.
But then we had the Toxic Avenger remake, and that was big. I mean, I talked about on here, there's a dolly shot on a street where in the background there are like 50 extras and they're all in costume. And it's like, oh shit, I didn't know we still made movies like this. And then we have Steven Kostanski. He's doing Deathstalker. It's like another movie that nobody asked for, but I know he's going to give that one love. And then there's Bad Haircut. I feel like y'all worked right in there because you're approaching this thing. And, I mentioned camera setups because y'all, I have to know, are you doing multicam setups, or did you just have, how long did it take to shoot this movie? Y'all have so many different angles that I'm kind of like, wow, it feels like we're back in the 80s or something.
We didn't think long enough. Turns out longer than most, having talked to a lot of other filmmakers.
Yeah, we had a 6-week shoot.
Oh, wow.
But,
Wow, yeah.
it's funny that we honestly wish we would have had double the time because there were so many angles we had on our list that we wanted to get, but we just didn't have time for. Like a lot more coverage we wanted to do, but we only had one camera, so you're
one
constantly
camera.
up against that. one camera.
So wild, dude. So
Terrell.
wild that you guys made this with one
I know.
camera.
Terrell's like, what the hell are you even talking about?
Thanks.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna start pointing
These
this
people
out
look
though.
bored.
No, here's the thing. Like just watching. So I have a little boy, and he's in a loop, and I'm thankful that it's Monster Squad. He just keeps watching it. And when I try to think
He
about,
loves it.
you guys doing okay? Did you lose audio?
No, we're plugging in the laptop here just in case we don't.
Oh yeah.
What's up with y'all people? You and Terrell. I'm like, how do you not have the laptop plugged in the whole
Yeah,
time?
mine's not plugged in either.
That would give me damn anxiety the whole time we're recording. If y'all need a
We're
minute,
on
take
the
it.
road still. Sorry.
No
we're doing what we
excuses.
Giving
can
them a
here.
hard time, Lord Battle.
Yeah, I know. No, I just, dude, I guess I'm so anxious that little things like that, it'll just be in the back of my head, eating up real
Yeah.
estate. No, but just like the coverage you get, like he was watching The Labyrinth recently, and I'm like,
Love that movie.
yeah, we have Jennifer Connelly
classic.
running across the street, but we have 5 different angles of it. And I'm like, well, yeah, cinema doesn't look like that anymore. And then, I'm watching all the movies I just mentioned, and it's like, oh, this is the difference. We have extras. We're world building. We're not just like in a contained location. And
Yeah.
you guys, with one camera, I
Dude,
can't.
well, from the moment the movie opens, you feel it too, because it opens with this party scene, and you're like,
Yep.
holy shit, there's a fucking 100 people on the screen right now, And there's needle drops that are like legit fucking songs. Like there's Bubba Sparks and
thank
like
you for that.
Pavement. Like there's so much like cool needle drops that like it just feels so grand in terms of scale, and it's so wild
you.
to think that you did all this with
It was
a
like
single
super-
camera setup.
Yeah, we were definitely intentional about all that stuff. And it was really important to us to I'm sure, filmmaker has like a bar, you have like a standard, and we set ours, and it was like, for lack of better, like the expectation was like studio level, like cinematography, like we're laying track, we're using, Fisher dollies, we're like petting up and down. We're trying to always, Kyle can speak to it, but like, that was like, everything, lighting, like exterior stuff. We've got cranes. It's not like we have tons of money to work with, but we tried to put the money to where it should be and do things right. I mean, basically it was like, we're not going to shoot outside and not light it properly. So it probably to our detriment sometimes. It took a lot more time, a lot more money, a lot more resources. Like, even the party, it was going to be smaller and contained originally. And it's like, no, like let's open up with like 200 plus extras there. And we did, but I'm glad you're bringing that stuff up. Thank you. I mean, that was like intentional. It's like, we want this to feel big. Like we want people to believe that Billy's in this situation that's bigger than he is. And it feels grand and not like, oh, okay, that's an indie film. There's like 12 people around a table. Like that makes sense. Like we didn't want to
No, it
compromise.
didn't feel like that at all. Like I love the beginning. It felt like the old, like the '90s, like college party movie type things. Like the guy wants to get the girl, but he's, it's all that kind of thing. It's like great.
Yeah.
So how did this story come together for you guys? Like, is this something that did you relate to any of these characters or anything? Like the story just revolved from there, or how did the story come about? Because it was a lot of mixtures. It turns bonkers, which I love. Which we gonna get into.
The story is based on a real barber that I had in college. And so
shit.
everything you see in Act 1, from like the taco eating, watching the movie, him dancing, the perfection phrase, all that stuff was real. I mean, that happened to me. And so Billy is really much based on my he's not based on me exactly, like my personality or anything, but my perspective. And Mick is based on this real life barber, from like his look to his personality, his aura. Sonny is based on our producer, he's around here somewhere. His name's Jesse. He's who was inspired. I was inspired by for the Sonny character, and it was just kind of like I knew the catalyst for the movie was this barber, and so we thought, he's such a character in real life. He's so unpredictable and feels endearing but dangerous and creepy and eccentric, but such a character. So he was the jumping off point for the movie to write a script, and then kind of took it in a direction where it's like, what's the worst thing that I think could happen? Like what, imagining if this guy really was something terrible, what would that look like? In real life, his shop had this little back back area that nobody ever went back there. And so you always wondered what's back there. He always had an employee working for him that never seemed to talk. So that was where Wimp kind of came from. So it was just very much taking what happened in real life and then embellishing it.
Okay. I hope the real Mick never locked you inside the barbershop and maybe your friends didn't bail on you.
No, they. I went there before, and that's when the taco thing happened by myself. But he never locked me up. All that stuff was fictional.
Okay.
How
no
did you
sex
get
dungeon under the real barbershop, huh?
No.
How did you get Frankie Ray? That dude, man, he's got one of those perfect like character actor faces and like bodies.
He sure do.
But dude, in your movie, it was God. He was giving me like, what's a comparison? Like Dee Snider if he had sex. What the hell's that dude's name? He's looking better and better with age. So I'm like, is he in demand? Did y'all meet him at like a fest or?
No, that's a wild story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, let's hear it. We like stories. Yes. What's the story?
So, all right. So originally it was written for a very particular, fairly notable character actor that we wanted, and then I think was more or less attached, but we needed to go meet him in real life because there were some red flags or things we needed to kind of sort out. So we went to New York, spent time with him. It didn't work out, and that's a crazy story, but we can't really get into any details there.
Okay.
But from there, we found another notable actor. He's out of Australia, and we actually were doing table reads with him virtually with the rest of the cast, and this was just a handful of weeks before production began. He unfortunately had very serious. He almost died. He's fine now.
Oh.
But yeah, so he couldn't come. We had visas lined up and all this, and he couldn't come to the United States. So we're just a number of weeks out from production. At the same time all this crap happened, the actors strike happened. So we could not only were we out our lead twice over, we didn't have a lead, and we weren't allowed to make the movie anymore unless we got a waiver. So then we had people in LA going to the SAG offices. Kyle and I were going, meeting with people in Chicago, and then we had a rep, Will, who we were emailing all day and calling. And basically, in person, they told Kyle and I, like, look, they're not giving waivers to major studio movies. Like, you're not going to get a waiver in the next 3 weeks. It's not going to happen. And so we had built all these interior sets from scratch in this warehouse, all this stuff. Spent all this money, and we were just like, we just decided to keep moving forward as if we were going to make it, ignoring everyone telling us no, which has like been our mantra the entire time. And literally, I don't know, 8 hours before we had to cancel all the flights, the day before people were flying in, we got the waiver. It was like a miracle. So going back to what you asked originally, though, during that time, Jesse was looking for, our other producer was looking, everyone was looking frantically, but he was looking and he found Frankie through whatever resource, Actors Access or something, saw his demo reel. We were all stoked, reached out to him, and fortunately, we got him. And that was miraculous, too. I couldn't imagine anyone else playing him. You know, but he wasn't supposed to be in the movie originally. I think he was supposed to be in the end. But
yeah. He was just he just perfectly fit the look and the voice and the aura of the real person. So once we saw his demo and then asked him to audition, we just knew that there's nobody else that can do it like he is so close to the real example.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
dude.
Crazy. Yeah. And
he crushed.
Dude, I could not pull the damn
so
name.
Good.
I was thinking he looks like Dee Snider on Iggy Pop's body. That's what I was trying. I couldn't pull fucking Iggy Pop. But so, okay, back to the waiver. So when you got the waiver, did like other filmmakers, producers, did they kind of like turn on you? I could imagine that being like, well, how the fuck did you get a waiver?
We didn't even have time to deal with, like, even think about anything like that, I would say.
No, I don't think anybody was like bitter about it. We have no idea, but we were just, at that time, it was a very few amount of productions that had gotten it because it was it was just happening. We just happened to get it in time. And so we were on like an IMDb article of like the only 80 movies or 100 movies to gotten a waiver so far. And it's like, they were just very few and we were one of them. So it was like a big deal for us to get it. And thankfully we did because it was the only way we could move forward because the actors were like, we can't travel unless you guys have that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was stressful.
But
did you do anything special? Like, how did you get it?
I think it was just a matter of like favor with our rep and just
Massive
perfect timing, just luck, blessing. I don't know. It just
diligence. I mean, we might have annoyed them so. It's either we annoyed them so freaking bad that they just caved and gave in. I mean, we don't. The answer is we don't really know what happened, other than we got it, and it was just a dark, crazy time. I mean, it was really, really tough.
No, I remember interviewing filmmakers, and I would have, we'd do a podcast with somebody, and then after they would DM me and be like, hey, I'm working on a movie right now, but I just don't want to put it out there because people were being so harsh. They would find people and just be like, hey, what are you doing?
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into really politics and stuff with any of that type of stuff, other than I think, my perspective, when you think about what's going on, right, with all that, I understand, what people, some of the issues that people have with and the reasons that those things happen when I'm talking about a strike for those reasons, right? But the thing is, when a film's made with private equity and you're building crap from scratch with your own money and you're working with SAG because you want great actors and they're repped, they're union actors, then that's how you're tied in with that. But we're not tied to studios. We're not.
Right.
The strike wasn't against people like us. It was against the studios and all that kind of stuff. So that's why we were able to get a waiver, but there were a lot of other productions like us that just didn't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, I think it was just a lot of contemporary people who weren't working, who were kind of jealous. I don't know. Yeah, it's wild. It's just a bummer, too, because honestly, I don't think a movie like yours would be made if you had a lot of studio. Imagine getting production notes on the movie you're making. Right?
We're not going to go super well.
Dude,
that would have been challenging.
Every damn choice you made, it's refreshing because it's so different. But then it's also I try to imagine, even right here, John, it's oh, you're on here as a producer. Oh, are you a money guy? And were you hovering? Because producer is such a broad term. How do you all know each other?
Well, we knew each other. So Reed, our cinematographer, is cousins with John, and I've worked with Reed on many projects over the years. And so we were very close. And in pursuing this, I reached out to Reed because John and I had met a couple times, but just kind of in passing. We didn't really know each other. So I reached out to John 4 years ago now about Bad Haircut because I knew that he was connected and thought that, I knew he had done movie stuff before, needed someone to help with getting an investor and getting this project off the ground. And then John came on board, said yes. And then he ultimately got us our investor and, we became fast friends really quickly through this whole process. I mean, we've been on this journey together for years now, and it's really created a strong bond, a strong friendship, and it's been amazing. So we're just really fortunate that we not only were really great collaborators, good at working together, but also became really, really close friends.
What was the elevator pitch like for your movie? When you're trying to get money, how do you sell people on this?
Well, it started with a pitch deck. Kyle had a really comprehensive, detailed pitch deck that was great, and we started meeting with some people that I knew, and we realized early on it just depends on who you're meeting with, but some of the people, for example, we were meeting with didn't have as much understanding of the industry in general, film, right? So they had an interest in presumably in investing or being a part of it. They probably wouldn't have been meeting with us, but we just realized okay, this is detailed, this is great, but if you don't really understand it, we needed to find a way to very quickly break the ice and also address all these things, these major things, which is risk mitigation and really how this thing works, right? So what we ended up doing, in short, is taking this pitch deck and creating a pitch video.
Oh, rad.
Oh, okay.
Give them, we could sell ourselves. We could use B-roll, behind-the-scenes footage of movies, because people that don't know just don't know. It's what is it? Okay, you guys have worked on stuff and, made other feature. What does that look like? Are you a group of 6 people and a handheld camera? What are you doing? What does that mean when you say you make? So, we could show the level of production previously, pre-qualify ourselves, use what we already are good at, visual storytelling, to convey this whole thing. And so we did a pitch deck in a visual form, down to everything, like all the way through to like how that whole process works in the end financially and with like graphics and all that. So I think ultimately that was a good decision because I think that's what got us our investor.
But to kind of answer your question more directly, it wasn't really about trying to sell the idea of Bad Haircut.
Yeah.
Like we were fortunate enough, I was able to get in touch with the guys who made Napoleon Dynamite, Doc Wyatt, Sean Bell.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because they had done,
Classic.
they had done exactly what we were trying to do, like similar budget level, making an indie movie off private equity in a small town. Like, how did you guys do it? And so they both sat me down and just over Zoom would have calls with me, and like they're like, listen, your investor doesn't care. An investor's not going to care about the story of this movie. They're going to care about how are you going to make their money back. They're a business person. So that kind of shifted our mindset of, okay, forget about like the pitch video, the pitch deck having so much
thing is.
It's not about the story and the creative vision. Like, who cares? Yes, it's going to be in there just briefly, but the majority of the pitch is going to focus on here's where all of the money is going. We went into it knowing exactly our shooting schedule, the exact budget, had already gotten quotes, knew exactly what it cost to make. So that's why we weren't going into it like, hey, we need X amount of dollars and like, yeah, we'll figure out where we're going to spend it. It's like, no, we know exactly what we need. And here's how we're going to make your money, or here's how we're going to approach making your money back. This is incredibly risky. We were very honest. It's a great chance you could lose all your money, but there's also a chance that this could do really well and be something special. Like, we had to be honest with that because that's inherently the risk you're taking.
It's a strange conversation to have with anybody.
Yeah, but it's like, this is going to be really cool. We promise we'll make something great. Here's a track record of everything we've done before. Like John was saying, we showed other films, other pieces of stuff, awards we'd won, so that he knew that there'd be a quality standard there. But yeah, we just kind of came down to here's comps from other films that are similar that you've never heard of that have made money, similar budgets. And we really kind of approached it from a business angle versus a creative angle.
Man, I'm sorry. I got one more like production question like that, and then I promise Evan and Terrell, you ask him whatever weird shit you want to ask him.
I got a couple character
shady.
questions.
Well,
But go
hold
ahead.
on.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Yeah,
this is all interesting.
I'm super interested because, like, when I think of the market and like selling a movie, back in the day, you could get your friends together and make a zombie movie and potentially make some money off of that, even just like locally. But the physical market is kind of gone. We're in the new era of like VOD, and then everything, like the worst thing I've ever learned about the current market is that second screen shit, where it's like, hey, I made a movie that is built for you to be able to be on your phone while it's on. And it's like, what a nightmare. And I'm like, how do you have to like put that into your pitch? Like, we are built on a lot of foundational ideas, so people can identify with characters immediately and then check Instagram and then pop back in and they'll have missed nothing. Like, is that what producers are looking for?
No,
we didn't. That was never a conversation. For us, we were always like, how do we went into this movie thinking, how do we make a movie that can be like a teen, young adult movie that we would have loved when we were in middle school or high school, something that kids are going to want to watch or teens are going to want to watch with their friends on the weekend at sleepovers, make a sweet poster that is going to represent the movie well, that kids want to have on their wall. Just like what would we have loved as teens? And we always reference this movie Disturbia because growing up,
hell yeah.
Disturbia
rules.
Russ likes that better than The Faculty. I love The Faculty, but Disturbia is great. I love me some Katie Holmes. I used to watch Dawson's Creek.
Yeah,
that was a formative one for me.
Yeah, it was a great movie. There was a thriller, but had a lot of situational comedy to it and a romance thread. And it was just like, as a teenager, we loved that movie. It had lines that we would quote, and it was just great. So we were like, how can we make a movie for this generation that was kind of
totally
like that?
Makes sense.
Semi-universal.
The needle drops too. Disturbia had needle drops out the ass that were great. Like so much good music in that. So totally makes sense. That was an inspiration.
I think our approach was just very much like, we want to make a fantastic movie that like and hit a certain bar where it could absolutely have a theatrical release, even though it's hard to do that. And like, just do it. I mean, everything is always changing, but like ultimately, I think our objective never is the same.
Yeah, we just wanted to make something entertaining that was a roller coaster ride that
Yeah.
we would love to watch with your
Yeah.
friends, especially as like a teen young adult. And then hopefully it'll appeal to wider audiences, but that was kind of our target audience.
Yeah, I mean, people can go make vertical videos on their cell phones, and that's fine. And all the other stuff that's going on, like, we're not interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I won't
that's
invite
fine.
you to our
Like,
film
I'm not-
fest.
I'm not dogging on it anything
Yeah.
like that, you know?
Yeah.
You shady,
It's just-
John.
It's just like,
He a shady
you know,
man.
I think we knew what we wanted to do, you know?
Yeah.
Good.
Dude, it's very evident that you did, because that movie that y'all made is such a clear and like passionate story, but it's so different from everything else too. That like,
Thank you.
know, it's like if they had taken that script away from you and given it to another team, there's no way they would have pulled that movie off. Like, it had to be y'all.
Yeah.
Nice of you to say that.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do such a good job of kind of walking. You kind of had a tightrope here of tone, because like to kind of make the tension of the thriller parts work, you couldn't lean too hard into the comedy, I think, and you guys had kind of a tightrope, and you walked it fucking perfectly, I think, because I genuinely at certain times had no idea what was about to happen. Like, I was like, this could go any direction, honestly. Like, I don't know what's about to happen, because you like continuously surprise the audience as you go along. I couldn't have guessed any of the
great,
turns
man.
this thing would take.
Good to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what we were hoping for, is like, that people, think it's going to go one way and it doesn't. And hopefully keeps people on edge of their seat because of that,
I love the frame
Yeah.
you've got on your screen there, Russell, of Mick right there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dude, I had
He
to.
looks like such a badass right there.
We
The
gotta
outfit is incredible.
I'm in the business of making lemonade out of lemons, and this TV is so big I can't get it out of my frame.
No,
So I'm
it looks intentional. It
Yeah,
looks good. I mean, if it isn't, it looks great.
Oh, we're kicking it.
Yes,
Dude, me and him would be homies.
Dude, he's been kicking it here the whole week with us. It's
I
been
mean-
wild.
You and him would probably be homies whether you liked it or not, I think, if he wanted to be your homie. That's
probably
one of the
true.
things. That's one of the things I want to ask you guys about, is just the Mick character, and sort of how, I don't know, I feel like a lot of movies that had a character like this that was sort of the central villain, for lack of a better term, they would reveal way more of the motivations, I think, right up front, and it makes Mick's character, I think that's what gives it the genuine unpredictability, is just that you're kind of, Mick is kept at arm's length the whole movie in terms of his motivations, so you never really know, like, what he's about to do. So what was your thought with just writing that character and making that choice to kind of keep his intentions hidden as long as you do?
Yeah, I think it was just like, again, back to the real person. He was very unpredictable, and so it was like, well, I don't know what he ever was going to do in real life. So as we were writing this character, it's like, what are the options that he could do here, and then what's kind of the most craziest thing that he could do? But at the same time, keeping him having like a heart. He wasn't just in real life, he wasn't just some psycho. Like, he had a heart. He was kind of like a chameleon. You never knew if he was telling the truth or if he was lying or if it was a partial truth or whatever. And so there was this endearing kind of boy-like innocence to him. Not innocence, but just this endearing quality about him, but at the same time, this dangerous, unpredictable side. So it was kind of like trying to walk that line with him and knowing like his motivation is, honestly, at the end of the day, he does want to just be accepted and loved. He just goes about it in all the wrong ways. And the parallel with him and Billy is that they both want the same thing. It's just Billy goes about it in a different way, which makes him a hero, and Mick does it a different way, which makes him the villain. And we hoped that would make him interesting and not just like another like slasher kind of character. He's not that guy. He's just he's really messed up, and he is a psychopath, but he is a little bit different in that way.
Damn, ever since Disturbia came up, I was trying to think of like some sort of Hitchcock joke to make. Because, of course, Disturbia, Terrell, is kind of like a modern Rear Window.
Yeah.
So I was like, what would a bad haircut be? But one of the Hitchcock teachings is that if you have a very likable villain, then you have a very watchable movie. And I think y'all executed that perfectly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could easily see. I mean, I felt like I liked Mick, as much as I liked any of the boys, the kind of the main group of guys. Like he's just so fascinating. You want to know more about him as you learn more.
That's great. We wanted him to I mean, I think the hope is that people would have empathy for him, but we knew the challenge there is, and we probably weren't entirely sure until more recently when we've gotten feedback and stuff. But like, yeah, I mean, how much empathy can you have, or how well can we pull this off better? Because it was the intention, knowing what he's done.
Yeah, we figured we always wanted him to have that have empathy for him, but we knew as we were shooting, we're like, man, this guy is pretty unredeemable. Like he's not going to be redeemable because of what he's doing. But then, to our surprise, like it was great the way that audiences have reacted so far. Is like people say how much they love Mick and how much they cried for him. Yeah, they have empathy and they feel bad when everything goes down. So it's that was cool because it made us feel like, all right, that character was successful in that way. He wasn't just a one note kind of character.
Yeah.
No, he okay. So I'm going to talk about Fast and Furious really quickly to everybody's surprise.
Family, dude.
But a lot of the times people will bring up like, Vin's introduction in that movie and how he's kind of looking away and then he turns around dramatically and then and there's a lot of like weight there. And I feel like there must have been a very obvious path to do that with Mick. But I feel like the way you kind of rolled that character out felt very not hyper realistic. Like when you go in the barbershop, it's strange, but he's not like unbelievable. Like he's eccentric. You get what I mean? Like, it didn't feel like you were fucking gonna have Nosferatu cut your hair all of a sudden. He just looked kind of quirky. And I think that goes a long way because as things start to unfold, it's like, how far are we gonna push it? And, you mentioned that he's based off somebody real. Kyle, did he ever try and kiss you?
No, he didn't try to honestly, that wasn't in the script either. Frankie did so much improvising. I mean, honestly, they all did. And so every kiss you see on screen from Frankie is improvised.
Unexpected.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have an intimacy coordinator on there that was pulling their hair out, or?
No.
I mean, we were pulling our hair out for a lot of reasons, but
really?
Together.
I hear producer Jesse Charles enters the room. There he is.
Oh, he flew in and flew out.
He was like, nope.
He's like, hell no.
He probably saw Terrell over there. He's like, I don't know.
Probably I'm a mess.
So this is Jesse. This is what I was saying that Sonny was based on.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Oh, okay. Hell yeah. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How's this
Take
interview
a wild
going?
guess what your buddies are doing right now.
Ruining an interview, saying all the wrong things. What?
No, hell no.
All the wrong things. Come tell us something good. Something right.
What do you mean take a wild guess?
You think they could ruin this show? Look at them.
Hey, look at us, dude. I'm in a shed. I don't even. You can see insulation behind me.
There.
He has a headpiece on.
This is my hair. What are you talking about? You crazy
What questions
bitch.
did you have about Frankie?
Oh yeah, ask him some questions, y'all.
One question.
Oh, about Frankie?
Yeah.
Look, Evan's checking his notes.
No,
we
high.
were just like surprised by
you had your chance and you lost
You
it.
blew it, dude.
He's gone. He looked like he had food. He's got business to take care of.
He
does.
I wasn't ready for him.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
He's just gonna make a bunch of noise off screen.
That Frankie was just kissing people. That's it. I feel like it fits the character.
Honestly, like the whole thing with Frankie was we would do things as scripted, but at the end of every shot, we would say, all right, do an artist take. And then he would go and do something that was just not on the page. It was unpredictable. And so I think pretty much every shot that we used in the movie, every take of him was an improvised take. And same thing with Spencer and the boys too. Like they did so much improvising, a lot of the jokes, a lot of the funny stuff that they said and did that was improvised. It was just, they were really good at that.
Wow. So you had such a buttoned up proposal. You knew where every dollar was going to go. You had 6 weeks and you allocated time for improv.
Lots
That's
of it.
crazy work.
They were really on point with that stuff.
So we did a cast retreat 3 months before we filmed with just the primary folk, not with Frankie, but the rest, RJ, Bo, Nora, and Spencer. And on like a lake for 5 days, and we hung out and did all these activities, and they bond, and the objective or the goal was that they would bond. Thankfully they did. And then they were super close when they left, and we did like table reads and all these different scenarios and stuff. But Yeah, the idea was that they would form a genuine relationship and friendship, and that it would translate on screen well. So hopefully that worked. But I think,
Well, yeah, I mean, so many of the jokes that you see,
the
like when the
improv,
boys are sitting in the barber shop or when they're in the
Yeah.
car together, a lot of those jokes happened organically on the cast retreat, and we're like, that's really funny. Do that.
Reuse it.
Yeah, they were just so funny in real life, and that was part of the casting process, was trying to find people that were genuinely good actors, but also genuinely funny, because we knew that the humor was going to be a big part of this movie and creating that tone. Because we had almost 2,000 auditions for these roles in this movie, and
Holy
so
shit.
yeah, it was a lot to go through. But we found people that were good actors,
Mhm.
but they just didn't have that innate sense of comedy to them. They just couldn't. They weren't funny, and so one of the people that was kind of a mentor to me was DJ Caruso, who directed Disturbia, and I talked to him about when we were trying to cast Billy. I was like, hey, how did you cast Disturbia? Because what I want right now is a 19-year-old Shia LaBeouf to play Billy. Like, that's who I want. That's the sense of humor, the everyday man, that kind of a person. And he's like, well, when I was doing Disturbia, I wanted 19-year-old John Cusack. He doesn't exist anymore, so I had to find the next John Cusack. And now Shia LaBeouf, 19-year-old Shia LaBeouf, doesn't exist anymore. You got to find the next Shia LaBeouf. So it was kind of this mission we went on to try to find the right person. Sorry if you hear all that sound.
So funny.
It's hella
I'm
funny,
enjoying
dude.
We can kind of see him in a mirror behind you too, so it's cool.
Yeah, every now and then we
he's
get a
just,
peek.
he's just being a menace to society right now, but that's all right.
No, it's great.
So you almost
yeah,
have a lot of extra stuff, like a lot of extra like jokes and stuff that maybe didn't make the final cut. I know the movie's like what, hour 45. Was there a lot of like scenes that you had to cut to get it under a certain, runtime?
Wait, can you say that again? Sorry.
I was just asking if there was like anything that you guys left out of the film.
Oh, yeah.
That like any other jokes and or things like that. 'Cause you said there was a lot of them that didn't
Yeah.
that might make like a Blu-ray or something.
Oh, there's a lot of alternative.
There's a lot of alternative
Mhm.
takes for sure, and there's some whole sections of stuff that we cut out just for runtime, and even we had our initial pass was a little over 2 hours, and we did some test screenings, and we're like, it's just too long. So there's scenes that we cut out to make it shorter. And just tighten things up, tighten jokes. So yeah, there are definitely things left on the cutting room floor for sure.
Was the 2-hour runtime a part of the initial plan?
No. We were thinking it was going to be between 90 to 100 minutes. I think the script changed so much.
90 still, but
Yeah, the script changed so much. I think the first version on it, honestly, was like 88 pages. It wasn't that long, but then it got to like 90 pages, 95, and then at a certain point, we were adding stuff on shooting, like during filming. The guys had come to us and were like, hey, like the scene outside of the barber shop when they rescue Billy, like that scene didn't exist ever. And they were like, we feel like we need this turning point moment. We feel like we need to make this scene. Like, so they kind of pitched this idea, and then we wrote it, and then we shot that for the movie, which wasn't a part of the original plan, but that added minutes. And then like the shoe store scene, like we realized we need some little cutaways to get out of the barber shop. So those were kind of written prior to filming or during filming. So we ended up adding runtime. We deleted stuff that was in there, but it was just kind of this weird balance where we were always changing things. It was always evolving. So we always thought we were going to have a 90 to 100 minute movie. And then when the first pass was like 2.5 hours, cut that down to 2 hours or a little over 2 hours. And then we got it down to an hour 49. So we with credits. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a lot.
Do you think it was an advantage being a combo director and writer? Or I could imagine that just being more pressure, like fuck, and now I have to go and rewrite something when you're probably, it seemed like you're already juggling a full-on production with this movie.
Yeah. No, it was a lot. I mean, between the three of us, John, Jesse, and I, we had so much on our plates because we were literally running everything, like everything you can think of from the creative side of things to dealing with the actors to like getting the porta potties on set to hiring every single person, hand sanitizer,
food,
like
tables, tents,
just all the little
insurance.
stuff. There's nobody. We had a crew, but all the managerial stuff, the leadership fell on us. So we're constantly like, honestly, most of our time was spent solving problems, people problems, relationship issues, logistics. Not even trying like, oh yeah, let's focus on shots the whole time. Like we didn't have that luxury.
Like the amount of effort it takes to just like I always said, like the amount of effort, resources, and money it takes just to keep people alive, fed, housed, like clean, sanitary restrooms, like just a fundamental stuff to keep, whatever 30, 50, 100 people alive is insane. That's just without making a movie, just the people involved to make a movie, and then you got to make a movie on top of all that.
Yeah.
So it's a wild thing to do.
Well, y'all must be fantastic at it because I'm used to hearing that from people who do like a weekend movie. And they're like, fuck, the Airbnb was a lot, and I had to do a Costco run. Y'all had 2 months, though. Like,
yeah.
And a lot of night shoots in the middle of nowhere on a cliff trying to get food out there. And
I mean, we did so many crazy things. Like, we did all of our effects practically. So every gunshot, every squib, spark hit, blood hit, explosions.
All real.
We really threw an ice cream truck off of a cliff. Like, we did all of that for real.
You did that for real? Oh, my
That's
God.
so sick.
Oh, that had to have been... Talk about that. That had to have been crazy. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I mean, we always knew, like, so originally in the script, the truck didn't go off the cliff. It was kind of an anticlimactic climax, honestly. And then John had this idea for this whole amazing end sequence. So we're like, yes, this is way cooler. But now we need to get an ice cream truck because we gotta blow it up. We're gonna throw it off a cliff. We gotta destroy it. So that was the first thing we purchased. Actually, it was an ice cream truck.
Oh,
and then
we rolled up with $10,000 in cash and a rough part of Detroit together. And
bought an ice cream truck.
Not a rough part.
And then a whole bunch of ice cream truck people, like culture. Like you can make a documentary about like the ice cream truck driver. We were like in this like village of ice cream truck drivers, basically.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But anyway, yeah. So then the truck.
Wait, I want to hear more about that.
That's like a whole film itself.
But anyway,
You said it was a rough area too.
Yeah. Well, anyway, fast forward to filming 2 years after that, we had this whole sequence and we had a special effects team, and the whole idea was, all right, it's going to go, the cops are going to be shooting at it. We're going to have spark hits going off. And then as soon as it goes off the cliff, a spark hit is going to go off. The truck will explode. It'll go down off the cliff. We'll have 6 cameras rolling. Cause we had, or for that day we had 9 cameras. As the one day we had multicam to capture the explosion. We rented extra stuff. And so it goes off the cliff. And then when it hits the water, it's going to have a second explosion time to go off and hit the water and then sink. Well, we're setting up for this all night, getting ready. Everyone's excited. It's the last shot of the movie. And we do it, but the first explosion doesn't go off. Like their detonators didn't work, whatever happened. So it goes off. The second explosion happened. It worked, but the first one didn't. So now the truck's 60 feet underwater, and we don't have the shots that we need to make the sequence work. So we're like, what are we going to do?
Fuck.
So,
oh my God.
So John luckily had like a connection to a diving team. They were actually filming it for like a TV show.
He know
Deep Water Salvage.
everybody. He know
you didn't go get this fucking truck out of the water and do it again.
Yeah,
no, he did it.
So I got a dive team because we needed them no matter what to pull the cameras that we had mounted
okay.
off. And then, but what happened was, so that happened. Like it didn't work. So we were like, okay, we had a short window to figure out a solution, and we knew we didn't want to do digital effects if we could avoid it. But they're like, so what was our alternative? So basically, I don't know. We were probably in the hotel just freaking out, and we were like, well, okay, what if we pull it back out from underwater and pull it to the shore and do it and bring it to the top? And everyone was like, that's just a dumb idea. Like it's not possible to do that, especially because like it hit the water hard and it was pretty messed up. So I called Matt Hunt. Shout out to Matt Hunt with Blackwater Recovery.
Deep Water Salvage. That's the show.
That's the show.
Yeah.
So I called Matt. Anyway, in this same time frame, a producer from the UK called me, and he was like, so like as Kyle mentioned, this team of divers, the recovery divers, and they usually pull up like vessels, like boats and stuff that sink, right?
Yeah.
So they're used to pulling up heavy stuff, and they've got all the credentials to do it. Because of that, this TV show, Deep Water Salvage, had been wanting to film an episode with them. And the producer thought it was unique that this was a movie, something different than what they usually do. So he reached out, and I talked to him, and he was like, hey, this is the end of it. It was really stressful, but we thought, well, this is a cool thing anyway, and it might be good exposure, whatever. So we agreed to it. So they were already there. So we had this camera team there filming for a TV show while we're launching it, and it goes wrong. So then they're, I think, probably like, oh, perfect. This is even better now. They got to fit, in terms of like the story arc and the. So maybe it's because maybe that lent itself. Maybe that was an advantage we had because there's a camera crew. And now, because essentially I asked Matt, I'm like, hey, instead of just the cameras, can you pull this whole ice cream truck up and can we get it to the shore? And so it was kind of a combination of all these things. But yeah, they needed extra bags and they were able to do it. They pull it up. And it's all in this episode of this TV show, by the way, called Saving the Movies. And so they pull it up.
Sick.
And we get it to the shore. Then we couldn't actually get it on the shore with just one wrecker.
Well, they weren't even sure, like, when they were pulling it out of the water, they're like, listen, we'll float it to the top, but there's a good chance this thing is crumpled, like, because it hit the water from 60 feet, a 60-foot cliff, smashing to the water. So they're like, it's a good chance it's not recoverable. Like, you may not be able to use it again. And then, yeah, like John was saying, they got it to the shore, but the shore wasn't like this. Yeah. It was like a drop-off wall, so the truck was like up against it trying to pull it out.
Yeah.
So we had to get 2 tow trucks. They were able to get it out. The whole front end was smashed in. And then the steering wheel wasn't attached to the drive shaft anymore, so they couldn't aim the truck to launch it like we did the first time. It had to be pushed off. So we're like, well, how are we going to do this? So we had this big conversation with our special effects team.
Yeah,
we're like, how are we going to? We need a shot of it falling on fire. That's what we need. And so he's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this truck. We're going to push it to the top of the cliff. We're going to cover it in napalm. We'll light it on fire. We're going to get a telescopic lift and we'll push it over the edge. And then he's like, I'm not doing that. I got kids. He's like, I can't get close to that thing. It's like on fire.
With his pyro team in the morning, we're like, this is like our only shot.
Yeah. And so they agreed
you guys
to do
had the
it,
special effects guy from Tropic Thunder out there just ready to
yeah,
fucking.
that's kind of what it was like. Totally. Yeah. So he's like, we can do it. We'll blow it up again. So then we're like, we're getting the second one set. We got a bomb at the bottom ready to go off. And we're like in a pontoon boat about to film this shot for the second time, hoping it's going to work. We're like,
wired up underwater.
We're talking to one of the guys, in the special effects guys. We're like, so is this gonna work this time? Like, is everything good? He's like, let's hope so. We're like, no, that's not good enough. Like, you just spent all this time and money to like try to redo this. You got to give me a guarantee. Yeah. There's no guarantee.
Turns out it's one of the few jobs in the world where there's absolutely no. You can get paid a ton of money. No guarantee it's going to work.
Yeah. So anyway, they light it on fire. They cover it in napalm. They light it on fire. The thing whooshes up. The guy gets in the lift, like pokes it over the edge. It falls. We capture it. The explosion goes off the bottom, and we got the shots that we need. But boy, and so then now it's still there at the bottom.
Yeah,
it looks great, but it's stressful. Yeah,
that was good.
That's wild that you could never watch the movie like the way it turned out and guess that there were problems. You know, like it looks. Everything looks intentional and like it should. Yeah.
Wait, I have to ask a question that, I mean, if you answer and we can't use it, we'll cut it. But what? Do you have to get a permit to like throw a truck into the water and then kind of? Just leave it there?
So hang on, we'll have to cut this for the show.
Yeah, Russ, why would you ask that?
I have to know.
Why? You could have asked after.
What we did was...
Dude, it sounds like y'all did everything you could to make this the most, like, kosher experience. I was expecting, like, no, we just put a brick on the gas and, like, blew it up and left it down there.
No, it was very safe. Like, the way that they did it the first time was they had this big truck and then the ice cream truck, and there was this pulley system between them, and then they drive the big truck this way, and it would pull the pulley and cause the truck to launch. So they had like a path and a ramp that they built under the stone. So so that way you could project it, because we needed to know like how far, how fast. It's like physics, where it's going to land, so that we know where to get the shots and just to keep it safe. And we're also at the same time, they're shooting those spark hit things at it from a distance, like so they got to hit those. There's a charge inside of the truck, so when the truck goes off the cliff, you see that big spark shoot out. That was all rigged. So it was a whole ordeal. I mean, it was very, very stressful, very time consuming. But we wanted it to look real. We wanted it to be real so that it would not feel like a cheap B movie with CG,
Yeah. It's funny how all these big blockbuster movies, there's been a like real return to practical effects, and it's great.
Yeah.
But as a horror fan, I'm telling you, it's not enough anymore. Like sometimes, like back in the day, you could have a cool zombie movie with one kill. Like that one kill made it worth it. Now, it's kind of like, oh man, give me a story, please. But the thing that everybody will still fuck up, including John Wick, the guns. Dude, like they'll do the worst fucking special effect, like muzzle flash. And you're like, how did you, like what? You couldn't just have a blank or something?
Well, that's why we were so adamant. Every gunshot you see in our movie is a real blank firing gun. 'Cause we wanted the real muzzle flash, the real recoil, the real reactive lighting and smoke. Like it just, there's nothing like it. And even the sound. I mean, the sound design is done in post, but it's layered with the real sound that's captured on set. Like it's very visceral.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it feels
It's
like
so appreciated.
And it's, I mean, I can understand why people do it, digitally. It's hard to do. It
More
takes
expensive, more time consuming.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
You got to do it safely. You have to have professionals that know what they're doing in armor and all the people. Like, I mean, it's like, even on an indie film, we were very, very intentional about safety. And like, you've got to, people might not realize, like, if you've got however many people, 50 people on a set or something, or more, every time there's a gun that's going to be used, we had 3 different versions of a gun anyway. So you're never, ever touching a real weapon, obviously, unless it's either a rubber version or a plastic version, it's a replica or whatever, unless they're actually firing only then. And then even then, there's all these safety blankets, all this stuff, but like everyone on set has to go and get in a circle and pass around the weapon and look through it with flashlights and make sure that the chamber is clear. Like everyone has to check off on it. Everyone. It doesn't matter what your position is. If you're a production assistant, if you're a gaffer, if you're whatever you are, everybody has to get eyes on it, touch it, see it, agree, know it's safe. So it's a pretty big deal to do it.
Yeah.
Sounds annoying.
I'm sure the safety of everyone and it's like,
I mean, accidents have happened and you don't want to be a part of that. So it is time consuming, but it's worth it,
Whatever. Do you know the press Alec Baldwin got? You can't pay for that kind of marketing.
Yeah, we just want to have that kind of
stuff.
press, though.
That's no bueno.
You were on private property, just dig a grave,
Yeah, that wasn't really our mantra, but
we gotta be careful with some of these things.
Terrell, I'm just joking. He look all mad at me.
No.
You come in with that wig. I can't joke with our guests.
I think
What
it's
the
the
hell?
hairpiece, dude, that makes him look like that. You lose the eyebrows,
Yeah, I tried to show up with a bad haircut. I was trying to be festive, girl. Anyways, I'm glad y'all came on the show. Is there any other sneak peeks y'all can give us from the filming or something else y'all got in the works? What's going on?
Well, yeah, we're actually, in terms of what we're working on next, we have a documentary that we're doing actually about.
Hell yeah. I love docs, dude.
Okay, let him talk.
It's funny. We're normally just narrative guys, but we are making a documentary about this famous character actor named Larry Hankin, who actually plays Gus, the Hot Now employee in Bad Haircut. He's been in movies for like 60 or 70 years, doing just tons of famous stuff. He's in Escape from Alcatraz, Billy Madison, Home Alone, Friends, Seinfeld, Breaking Bad. I mean, he's been in so much stuff.
Breaking Bad? Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's been around
and hundreds of shows.
Yeah, that's him, and he has such an incredible life. He wrote a book called That Guy. It's a memoir about his life and his career. And so we're making a documentary about this show, or about his life. And that's kind of what we're in the process of pitching around right now.
Yeah, it's like a love story to like Hollywood and film, love letter, I would say, but told through the unique perspective of a character actor. And then it's like peppered with all these sort of iconic, because he was there at the beginning, for example, of like, like Adam Sandler's career. He co-starred in it, Billy Madison with him, and he's got all these cool, Clint Eastwood and Escaping Alcatraz, but he kind of stumbled into this thing and just kept going with it. And people always recognize him. They don't know his name, but they go, "Oh, you're that guy."
Yeah.
And so, so we're interviewing celebrities as well. So it's kind of this, hopefully a cool perspective. We started filming a little bit already and interviewed one.
Mm-hmm. I feel like those guys are some of my favorite types of like actors, though. I feel like they're
what
not
do you mean
the
by
Brad
those
Pitts,
guys,
dude?
But
no, I'm just using his verbiage there. He said there's you're that guy. How people call it, like you're that guy. I feel like those guys are like, I love those kind of actors because I think they really make movies feel alive in a way a lot of people don't appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because he's been a part of pop culture for so long. I mean, like pretty much any show in the 80s and 90s, even the 60s and 70s, he was in a lot of stuff, and it's just anything from your childhood that you can think of, like Alf or Family Ties or Matlock, Home Improvement.
Oh wow, that's your childhood, Russ.
You call me
it's
old?
just, but yeah, so we're in the process of pitching that, shopping that around to get the financing for it, and we've shot a little bit of it already. But doing that, and then we have a movie that we're doing that will be shot in Montana. Can't say too much about that one, but it'll be kind of a thriller, surreal drama kind of movie. And then we have an 8-episode miniseries that we're also working on. It's
Oh
kind
my
of in,
God. You're
kind of
busy.
in a comedic. Yeah. We have a lot of stuff we're trying to get done. The show is kind of in a similar vein of comedy as The Studio. If you guys have seen that show, nothing to do with that topic, but sense of humor, the kind of the style of that show is kind of what we're going for, but a totally different topic that we won't talk about right now. But yeah.
Well,
nice.
Y'all are built for it, dude. Like dealing with that ice cream truck, I think is really the the secret behind making movies, just like dealing with situations. And the product you made is, I mean, is there a more perfect version of that, or did you deliver exactly what you wanted?
For Bad Haircut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, there's definitely a more perfect version of it. We always talk about, like, I wish we would have done this or written this part like this or shot
Y'all
this.
are crazy. That movie, y'all did so good with that film.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're
the
very
movie is
proud of it.
great. So
Thank
is this
you.
just going to do like the festival run right now, or is it, you said no distribution quite yet, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah, we play at
VOD
Newport.
or
Yeah, we're playing at the Newport Beach Film Festival next month. And then we have our international premiere after that. And a couple other, we're playing at Film Quest and a couple other festivals as well.
In Germany.
But yeah, we,
I mean, we know what our goals are.
yeah, we want to have a theatrical release is what we really want for this movie. So that's what we're kind of for. But yeah, there's just, there's no guarantees with any of this stuff. So we're just trying to constantly be the outlier, be the anomaly, and do everything we can to, give the movie a release that we want it to have.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, why don't you guys play in the damn Bay Area?
Bucks. Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, what'd you say, Evan?
Yeah, Evan cut you off.
I was just saying the movie looks like $1 million, so it's it deserves to be seen on like a bigger screen like that because it feels so much bigger.
Thank
you. It's been cool being down here just this last week. It's a crazy time for us this last 10 days, right? It's the first time we did 2 test screens for 1,000 people, one in LA, one in Michigan, but that's different. In Michigan, they're private screenings. We knew some of the people weren't that far removed from us. So there's a bias there. So being down here and, playing at our premiere and then with 100 and something people and then a couple hundred people in a bigger theater, hearing the laughs and people were applauding the second time. It's an emotional thing because you don't know. You go into something like this and you're like, you were excited but very nervous, and it can go 2 ways. And we just didn't really know what to expect. And it's just been such a blessing, man. People walking up and just telling us how much they loved it over the top and they want to see it.
That's the best feeling, I'm sure, 1,000%.
Good affirmation, because you just don't know. You don't know what reviews are going to be. You don't know anything.
Well, and it's cool to get to talk with guys like you. I mean, it honestly means so much when you guys say how much you enjoyed it and that you guys vouch for it. And that means the world because that's, we made it for people that would love this kind of thing. And so to hear you guys respond so well to it means so much to us.
Yeah. I've been lying the whole time. So.
Oh my God.
Well, just keep. Hey, I'll tell you what. Just keep doing it, dude, and tell everyone you know about it. As long as you keep doing it, that's fine. Yeah.
Well, are we going to get a Bay Area date? Are you playing out here in San Francisco area?
Newport Beach. We play on October 18th at 8 p.m.
That's out here. I didn't even know.
That's.
I mean, that meant nothing to me because I don't know where Newport Beach. I'm in rural Mississippi, so you should know, Russell, if it's in your fucking.
He lives in the
close to
shed.
LA, I think.
Yeah, but he's in the Bay Area.
We're Central California.
Me and Russell are in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're still probably 8-10 hours away. So you're northern.
We far away.
Well, we're in California, I guess. So I don't know. At this time, probably not the Bay Area as far as I know.
Yeah.
LA.
Why not, dude?
Right.
We got a film fest out here. We got a couple. Actually, we have one in December.
Hey, if you can get us into a film festival,
or send us the info.
Oh, we actually probably could.
Yeah.
Russell, we could get him into another hole in the head.
We'll shoot you an email after, but you got to play out here. That'd be really
cool.
rad.
Yeah, we'd love that.
Well, before y'all go, y'all are awesome, by the way. Thank you guys come talk to our crazy asses.
No,
But
thanks for
before you
having us.
Yeah. Oh, I want y'all to plug yourselves, like any websites or social medias. People get updates on the movies and or screenings, or you guys in particular.
Sure.
Yeah, our movie's Instagram page is kind of where you can see all of our behind the scenes, all the updates, where the release date, festivals. So it's just at Bad Haircut the Movie is the Instagram handle, and then we are also have a Facebook page, same handle.
Yep.
There's a TikTok account, I believe that's the same handle, and then
Primarily Instagram.
yeah, Instagram's kind of the main.
That's
spot.
mine too.
Yeah, personally,
Period.
I don't have an Instagram, but I have a YouTube channel, Throwback Pictures. So if people want to see other short film work I've done, they can go there, and then John has his accounts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at petro.jon, Jon. That's my Instagram handle. But yeah, for the movie stuff, Instagram's best, and it's at Bad Haircut the Movie. And we'll keep everyone posted. We're pretty good about it. We're trying to be.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll put all those links too in the description for anybody listening. Go give them a follow and check out their other stuff.
Period.
Yeah.
we appreciate
y'all.
y'all. Thanks
All
so
right, well,
much.
this was great, guys. Thanks for
This was
joining
great.
Footage Foreplay. And yeah, we can't wait to see this on the big screen. Like the
Hell yeah.
So that'll be great. So yeah,
Let's
everybody
keep
need to go watch
speaking
this
that in the
movie.
universe.
Yes, period. Yeah, 1000%. All right, y'all. That was it for this episode. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Love you guys.
Thanks for listening to Footage Foreplay. If you enjoy the show, please consider leaving a review, sharing it with a friend, or simply hitting like. These small gestures are a great free way to support this mayhem, and if you find some footage we should be fondling, email us at footageforeplay@gmail.com. Check back every Tuesday and Thursday for new episodes, and remember, don't skip the foreplay.